So thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, we're living in such a wonderful time. If I could pick one moment in human evolution and history, in the millions of years of humanity's possibilities, it would be at this epoch that we are transitioning from into a spaceborne species, into a multi-world, multi-planetary species. Never again, when our future descendants look back on us, they'll be seeing that this is the generation that we move permanently into space. This is. We have to do it. It's because we live on this world, this beautiful world that Chris described so elegantly. But it's finite. And one of the ironies of the space age that it took us moving out into space and looking back on Earth to see Earth as it really is. And we have this beautiful, fragile world that's finite with resources. And we also have this very nice coincidence that we have another world right next door to us called the Moon. It's a sister world. It's in many ways a child of Earth, but also it is rich in resources. It doesn't have any tall blue people that we know about. So it offers us an opportunity that we can conquer for the first time a new frontier without having to conquer each other. It's a way that we can learn about living off the land as we move into space. And as we have looked at the Moon and learned about it over the decades, from the first footprints of your dad to the space probes that are sending back terabytes of information about the geology of the Moon, we're learning that the mineralogy of the Moon is just rich in the types of materials that we need to live on Earth and to grow in space. And the thing that makes the economics of the Moon most exciting is that there's water on the Moon. And water is like the oil of the solar system. The water, H2O, and its components really create rocket fuel. It's not only the stuff of life, but it's the gas stations that we need to make all of the resources of the Moon and our ability to move out into space permanently economically viable. So, welcome to the Moon Rush. Moon Express is a intrepid band of adventurers, of entrepreneurs. I want to recognize my co-founders right now, Mr. Naveen Jain. And where did he go? And Barney Powell. Yes, Barney Powell. That's right, Barney Powell. Tremendously successful gentlemen, and I've learned so much from them. And it's at the nexus of the Silicon Valley entrepreneurship and the tried and true methods that we've learned from NASA that we're creating these new entrepreneurial companies to go into space. We started quite modestly. We were able to work with NASA to get our training wheels on this cute little vehicle here that's resident at NASA Ames. We'll learn how to fly it in a building, in a net. And then we graduated to a vehicle that was built by the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville called the Mighty Eagle. And this is the first time that NASA has allowed a private company to put its software on their spaceship and fly it into the sky. So we kind of got our driver's license on the Mighty Eagle with NASA. And we're building now our own spacecraft system that we think is going to revolutionize the way that we can access the Moon. It's going to reduce the cost of access to the Moon in many ways, like the innovative space companies like SpaceX are reducing the cost of access to space. This is what's going to change the world. It's our reducing the cost of access to new places will allow first our robots and our humans to experiment and learn about these new worlds. But the first thing we're building is this cute little spacecraft we call the MX-1. It's a part of a larger system that has many applications, not just to landing on the Moon, but other people can use it for other applications like launching CubeSats or maybe cleaning up some of the space debris in orbit. We kind of think about it as the iPhone of space. It's a platform looking for an app. And we're building this right now. We're building the hardware for this, and we'll be testing it and flying it here on Earth, and we'll be launching it to the Moon late next year in 2015. We're using great simulation software from Autodesk, our friends. It wouldn't be possible without the great simulations. Ask yourself, how is it possible that a team of, let's say, 50 engineers can do what only superpowers could do decades ago? That's because of the power of exponential technology and the digital simulations and software that we have to simulate what we're doing so we can fail early, fail often, and fail digitally before we actually commit to sending hardware to the Moon and into space. So here's some of the hardware they're building right now. It's all coming together in a very exciting little spacecraft. When I say little, you and I can put our arms around it. It's pretty cute. You could put it in the back of an SUV. It goes as a secondary on a large rocket, and it reduces the cost of getting to space. And then from Earth orbit, from Earth orbit, it can get all the way to the surface of the moon. So we have a guy named Tim Pickens, who was the chief propulsion engineer on Spaceship One as our chief propulsion engineer, building this spacecraft that will land in 2015 on the moon. Our next mission will be a mission to the south pole of the moon in about 2018, and the holy grail for us is to bring back something from the moon in about 2020. We're going to the moon, and I hope you'll follow us along with us. Thank you very much.